Hello YouTube, this is Billy. Today I'm coming to you with a 2011 Kia Sorento, and I had an oil leak and it turned out to be the valve cover gasket. The valve cover gasket is very easy to remove and replace. I'm sorry that I did not get any of that on film, but it's super easy. And so on the catalytic converter that's underneath the car, because there's one underneath, kind of like underneath the passenger's feet, it's under the car. That one is super easy to remove and replace. The cat that is the exhaust cat that is right under this heat shield, that cat is a little more difficult. It's got, there's 4 bolts on the bottom. They're actually nuts that come off there. There's 4 across the bottom. There's 2 on this side and 2 on the far side on the bottom. And then on the top, there's only 3. There's 1 on the top on this corner, 1 on the top on that corner, and 1 in the center. The gasket that comes in between the motor and the exhaust catalytic converter, this was the factory one. It's like a thin piece of metal. For anybody like me making such repairs, these gaskets have to be replaced. They are a one-time use gasket. So even though it looks perfectly fine, it will not get a good seal. So they're only about $10 at the parts store. And so you want to get yourself a replacement gasket for that. And in an event, so I tried the factory gasket, and sure enough, yeah, it did not get a good seal. And it's not good when you don't have a good seal, because the exhaust chambers will shoot flames out, and you don't want your car to catch on fire or anything like that. So definitely make sure you get a good seal. Replace that exhaust catalytic converter gasket. And if you'll note, one thing that puzzled me about that gasket was the hole pattern. So it's got 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So it has all those holes, but there's only a few of these being used. So on the top, you have a bolt in the middle, and then 1 on this end, and 1 on that end. And on the bottom, you have a bolt here, and a bolt here, and then a bolt here, and a bolt here. They're actually studs that stick out of the side of the motor, and then it's a nut. That's how that bolts together. But in any event, so you have 2 on the bottom here, 2 on the bottom here, and then on the top you have this far corner, that far corner, and top center. Right here, this little point right here, that is facing the sky. Okay, so that's how it goes in the car, this pointed up in the air. To replace that gasket, because like I said, I tried the one that was already on there. It looked like it was okay. I had no idea it was a one-time use gasket, so I learned that the hard way. Replacing the catalytic converter that's right here under that heat shield, that was more extensive. It was not the finest thing in the world. When I put the new gasket in, what I did is on the bottom side of this catalytic converter right here, down there at the bottom, there's a little bolt that comes up, and then there's a little bolt that comes into the side, and it's just, there's a bracket that goes to the bottom of the motor. When you're under the car, you can see it. In any event, so I pulled those 2 little bolts, the little short bolts. I pulled both of those out, and then I removed all of the nuts on the exhaust. And you see down there I did not, replacing the exhaust catalytic converter that's up here under the heat shield. When I replaced it, obviously I did have to unbolt down there. But when I learned the hard way that it needed a new gasket, those 2 bolts down there that I was talking about, and then removing those little nuts there, and I was able to, because down on the part that this bolts onto it's a flex line down there, so it has enough flex that you're able to push it back so that it comes off of the studs. And I had enough room. There's surprisingly a good amount of space here, so I had enough room to hold it back out of the way, clean both sides real good, get the old gasket out, and put the new gasket in. And then going back together was a little bit more of a thing, but the trick is to get the top ones first. So the bottom, you want to rock the bottom that way, and by rocking the bottom that way, it helps you get the top ones first. And the split second you get these top ones to go, when you're putting it back together, the split second rock the bottom that way, and the split second you get the top to kind of pivot like that, okay? And as soon as the top starts to go, the whole thing it'll just pop right in there. So replacing that gasket was actually not too bad. In any event, well, for anybody this video might help, well, everybody have a good safe day. Bye.